hard because I spent hours crying over the cost of starting clinical. Studying for STEP, you don't have income, right? You obviously can't work. I broke down the cost, and it's going to shock you how much I spent that year that I had no income coming in and to get ready for clinicals.
Okay, I have tons of notes to go through. I even have my laptop out in front of me because this video is so important. Let's have a conversation about what happens after step one. More importantly, the cost. Let's begin. It's most fitting to make this video about what happens after basic sciences and step one. So before we begin, I must say congratulations for making it this far. If you're watching this video and you're going to start clinical soon, then congratulations on passing step, congratulations on passing basic sciences. You are almost there. Put on your white coat and get ready to see some patients and actually get out of the library. Now, I'm fortunate that my dad has a really great job. He is a nurse practitioner. My family does not struggle at all. So asking my father for $2,000 was not a big deal, but I can't say that that's the reality for everybody. I mean, your parents are working very, very hard for that money. Your loved ones work very hard for that money. So even if it's just the dollar that I'm taking from somebody, it hurts. Okay, so the first thing that I spent was about $80 to complete my certificates. Certificates such as like HIPAA and OSHA, those certificates that most healthcare providers are very familiar with. So that cost me about $80 to complete those courses and to receive those certificates. Next expense was all of the doctor visits. So boosters, physical exam, and drug test. Those are 3 separate visits. You can try to cover the physical and booster in one, but you're going to, if I needed booster shots, so it didn't even cover that first visit. I am still getting booster shots now that I'm in clinicals. So you're going to have a lot of visits, and if you have insurance, then it will be completely free. Most of my visits were completely free, but I know some people that have at least a $20 copay. So at the very least, you're gonna have to go in for a physical, go in for a drug test, and then go in for boosters. So if $20 copay, that's $60. Now, ACLS and BLS certifications, my school did a good job at making sure that we were finished with all of our certifications, but at the time that we finished, plus that year gap that it took because of COVID, all of them had expired. So I was in global health, so I also got my instructor card so I could teach ACLS and BLS as well as do ACLS and BLS. So I was a provider and an instructor, so I had to renew all of those, and it ran me $200. Okay, next, and this is when I cried because I had spent so much money. I had asked my parents and my boyfriend for so much money, and at the time where it was time for me to get my passport photo done, I didn't have any money in my account. My account literally read 0.02 cents, and I didn't know what to do. So I go in to get the passport done. I asked my boyfriend about $10. I thought the passport photo wouldn't be more than 10. Well, it ended up being about, after tax, I think it was $15. So I was sitting there at the counter, $5 short, and I just broke down into tears because I felt like I'm doing everything I can to have a successful future. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I make money in the future, but I don't have any now. And in the meantime, the money is just being guzzled out. I'm just spending endlessly. And trust me, you'll understand once I get to the other costs. I know what you're thinking, $20, it's just $20, just ask a loved one for it, or maybe you can make it by doing Instacart or tutoring. These are all things that I added after this to make supplemental income. But in that time, when you're studying for STEP, it's very hard to make money. So you have to ask, unless if you saved some money. Okay, so $20 on the passport, and then you have to get a background check, and I believe it ran me about $28 to get the background check. My school had a link that you clicked on, you pay the money, just guzzle money. You pay the money and then boop, out comes your background check in a few days. So that was about $28. And now let's talk about the big stuff, such as resources. Now, at the very least, everybody knows that UWorld is kind of the go-to for questions to prepare for step one. And with UWorld, you're going to spend at least $300 for your step one preparation. I think it's about $260 something for a month. It changes every now and then, but $269 for a month, but you're gonna need at least 2 months. So if you opt for the 3-month version, I think it's close to a little over 300. So let's just say for you, world, you're going to spend a minimum of about 300 bucks. The majority of these things you must complete before you even sit for step 1. Okay, and now let's talk about the exam. So step 1 by itself, I rounded this number. It's going to be about $900. So it's going to be close to $1,000 bucks. And if you are an international medical graduate, there's a program that you have to first sign up for to qualify. I believe it's called ECFMG, and that was an extra $145 on top of the $900 to take the test. So there's $1,000 for that exam. Now here's just a little preview, because step 2 is $2,000. It's just so much money being spent. So if you do all that math of all the things that you absolutely have to spend money on, it's going to run you about $1,700. If you just want to round that out, then you should at least save $2,000 from your last loan in order to pay. Now, the big bulk of the money that was spent was after step 1. So this was me getting ready to move for clinical rotations. And after step 1, I have listed here things such as the cost to move for clinical rotations, white coats, face masks, now that COVID became a part of our reality. Now, I didn't even have to travel out of state because I am from Orlando, Florida, and I'm doing my rotations currently in Miami. And even with that small move, I spent $4,000, $4,300, but I'm rounding down. And the reason why is because if you're getting a new apartment, you're going to have to at least pay 2 times the rent, right? A deposit plus the first month. And rent around here is about $15,000, so let's say $1,500 for a 2-bedroom is what you're looking at to pay for rent here. So that's about $3,000 upfront for your apartment. And if you're getting movers or a truck, gas to travel, food during your travel, flights, stay, all of that would easily add up to about another $1,000. So I spent about $4,000 just trying to get to Miami. And now for the other stuff that is very hard to ignore, such as ladies, it's a reality that every month you're going to need feminine products. It's a reality that every time you get in your car, you are wasting gas. It's a reality that you eat every single day. You drink water. All of these things add up. So I looked online, and the average that a person spends on food for the month is about 300 bucks. So if you take about 300 bucks and then bills and memberships, so we all have, the Netflix memberships, the Amazon Prime memberships, utilities, water, electric, credit card bills, Ipsy, Glam Bag if you sign up for that. And then just the little things such as toilet paper, face masks, shampoo. So all of your monthly bills on average, I just rounded it up to $400 a month on bills that, you have to pay. So let's do the math for a second. We had $2,000 that you absolutely have to spend. Let's say another $4,000 that is optional if you're traveling or not. And then about $800 a month. So all in all, you're looking at about a good $7,000 investment, or $7,000 that I spent after taking step 1, after finishing basic sciences. Now, I tried my best to save money, and I did. I invested as well. So if you guys want a video on how I invest my money, that's something I'm really passionate about right now. My brother got me into it, but I took $1,000 from my loan. I was able to invest it, and it quickly became $3,000 by way of the stock market. So I had saved about $3,000. I only needed about $4,000. So I have to take a moment to say thank you to my boyfriend and my parents, because if it weren't for them, as medical students, you're not working. I know some med students that work during their breaks, but consistently you don't have time to work. So without making income, but money is just being guzzled out, it's very hard to survive. And specifically, my situation was that it was during COVID-19 that I had taken steps. So my exam was delayed about an entire year, which means I went without loan money entire year. I don't know about you, but my family works for every single penny that they have. So I work for every single penny that I have. So $7,000 just to be, like just coughed up. It's very hard. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because if you are getting ready for this, if you're about to finish basic sciences, if you're about to take your step 1 exam, get ready for the financial strain, because it's going to be a little financially straining. If you do not save money from your loan, you're going to have to ask, you're going to have to get help. And always ask your school for help first. I'm an advocate of asking my school for help. The financial aid department had the frenzy with me by how many times I sent emails. I'm a bug, but I was a bug because I freaked out every time that I had to pay something. I panicked because I didn't know what to do. Again, the average household minimum wage is a reality. So that $4,000 that you're going to be asking your parents for, your boyfriend for, or anybody for, it's hard. I know one person in particular, one of my colleagues, she worked because she doesn't have her parents. Her parents are no longer with us. And she, on her breaks and on her weekends, what she would do is she would work, she would go to her clinic that she worked at previously and try to make this money in order to pay all these bills. The school does their best to help and try to understand. So I did work very closely with the president and provost of our school. I was able to ask for help and get the money that I needed. So I hope after watching this video, you know how to plan during Med 4. So your last semester at my school, it was Med 4, but whatever your last semester is, you're going to have to save some of that loan money or borrow money from your friends, your family, boyfriends, parents, and tell them that, it's another IOU. Okay, so as always, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please, just hit the thumbs up, like this video. Also, if you want to get some free notifications of all of the videos that I post, just hit the red subscribe button down below. If you have any more questions or if I left anything out, please add it down below, because this is a community. I'm trying to help everybody, and I need help as well, though I'm sure everybody would appreciate it. And okay. Thank you for watching. Peace for now.